Alright, hi Hardrop. Today I'm going to explain a super advanced technique called double dash charging. And the idea behind double dash charging is you can charge your left and right dash counters separately. This enables you to always have dash charged in a theoretical sense. So I'll just talk about the requirements of this technique first. So it is very game engine dependent. In pure Tetris it works, is the TLDR, but here are the things that you need, the components you need for this technique to work. Firstly, in the game engine, left and right charge must be separate counters. This means it is possible to charge left and right at the same time. Secondly, you need left and right. If they're pressed on the same frame, there's an order of precedence. For this technique to work, ideally, you want the precedence order such that the last key you press down is the direction that the piece moves. And this is important. So in a lot of games, the precedence order is just fixed. So if you press left and right on the same frame, right will always move. It'll always just move right or always move left. So in pure Tetris example, if you press left and right on the same frame, like no dash charged, it will just move the piece right no matter what you do. So you can just test this. Press left and right at the same time, it'll always move right. But with dash charged, if left dash is charged, for example, and you're holding down left and you tap right, it'll take the last key down pressed, so the piece will be dashing to the left and then move to the right, and as long as right is held, the piece will not shift left. And vice versa, if you're holding down right and dash is charged and then you tap left, then as long as left is held down, the piece will not move further to the right. And this is important because this entire technique revolves around these parts of these all programming decisions fitting together. So now I'm going to quickly go through just 3 pieces of Micro Blizz's replay and what he did, ways to improve it, and with just like normal techniques. And then I'm finally going to talk about improving this with double dash charging, which is a pretty ridiculous thing to do with these 3 pieces, but it does show that it is theoretically possible to save even more frames. So, what does he do? Here's the pieces. It's a L, dash tap back. So notice that dash is not charged. So it's waiting here, dash charges, tap back, places. Next one, dash is not charged. There's a pause here. Spawns, pause, then it moves, then he places there. Then finally he places the eyepiece to the right, and again frame spawns, pause, meaning dash is not charged, and then to the right. So those are the 3 pieces. So none of these pieces had dash charged. So first of all, I'm just going to talk about dash interruption, which is the basic way and to solve this problem, and it will only give you 2 dash charges instead of 3. So let's just talk about that. So, first thing, if you hold down left here, dash gets charged and it moves to the left. We already know that. Now, if you want to preserve dash using interruption, we continue holding left here, hold down right so the piece moves right, and this entire time you're now holding both left and right. But because right was pressed later, the piece moves to the right and does not continue moving to the left. You drop on this frame here, and while holding left, you release right. Now, dash is charged to the left and the piece will move to the left as soon as the piece spawns. So this piece will spawn and it'll move immediately instead of pausing here. And then you'll drop here. However, right is not held at any point during this time. If you hold down right, then this piece will stop moving to the left. So there's no way to charge to the right. And so you're still going to have to wait for this eyepiece. There's nothing you can do about it using this technique. So that saved 1 dash charge. Now, let's talk about double dash. So I thought about this for about 5 minutes and finally came up with a solution where you charge dash the least amount of times. Notice how here he uses a dash tap back. That's not necessary because this is a L piece and it's placed 2 to the left. So what he can do here is just tap left twice and it'll move there. However, that still doesn't solve the whole holding down the right problem. So here's the solution using double dash. On this frame here, before the orange piece has spawned, you must hold down the right key. Keep it held down. Next thing you do is tap left as soon as it spawns on this frame, and do that twice. So before dash starts charging. You can tap it the first time and then hold it the second time, and if dash is charged, it's fine because the orange piece will stay here, and dash will be charged on the right, but you won't move to the right because left is held down. So the key thing is this is a very timing sensitive technique. So hold down right here, tap left, and right is still held, left is held, you drop. And on this frame, you keep holding down left, and right and left are both held at this point of time. So left was held down later, so the piece will dash to the left. You drop this piece here, and keep holding left and right. This piece will move to the left because left was the last held direction. You drop that, and on this frame when you drop it, you release left and keep holding down right. So at this point right now, here, both dashes are charged, but it moves to the left due to the last direction pressed principle. Here you release the left arrow key, and this will move to the right instantly. So dash was only charged technically 0 times, actually, because dash was always charged in the background, so to say, so that you never had to wait for dash after the piece spawned. So using this technique, it's possible to always just have dash charged, as shown by this example. I guess I have to prove it, you'd have to show every single possible scenario, but this was a fairly difficult example, and I still managed to find a way to keep dash preserved.